November of 2014. It's against the Dallas Cowboys, a team that desperately needs a win, a team whose defense has been susceptible to big play all year. And I want America to understand this. Jenna, who's got a very busy life, a very successful wife who works all the time, has got kids. Jenna has limited time. Jenna has limited time in order to consume all the sports she needs to. Yet she has watched every second of the Browns that they played this year. Whether she needed to or not.
So true.
Just hate watching them. And now she finally gets to watch a Browns game that really matters for the show because it's Browns Cowboys and it's a marquee game. So I'm excited to watch it. I'm actually excited for Jenna's watching to pay off for the first time.
Quickly, on an aside, you make all these Patriots bets with Wilds. You and I are going to have to make a Baker bet at some point. I'll wear whatever you want. Go ahead,
Okay, yeah,
Kevin.
say one nice thing about him. That's the bet. I dare you. Go ahead.
Let's work on it. Let's work on the stakes. Go ahead.
We're talking a lot about the Hall of Fame, and we didn't mention the Hall of Famer Julian Edelman up against that Chiefs defense. Did you know, Nick, while you're watching the game? Keep your eyes on the screen. Patriots 22-3 when Hall of Famer Julian Edelman catches a touchdown. We're 2 weeks away removed from him having 179 yards for Seattle. So keep your eyes on Hall of Famer Julian Edelman. It'll be so much sweeter when he goes into the end zone at Arrowhead.
Can we get
his phone tweet you again about your haircut? Go ahead.
Real quick, and then you go.
Jump in.
And then just listen. Wild, you told the audience the other day, little humble brag, that you were a former fancy television bigwig. You've made television shows. I would think you would understand that if I am trying to quietly and subtly build the Brandon Marshall Hall of Fame case on this show, you responding 4 minutes later with Julian Edelman Hall of Famer, it kneecaps the credibility of us being able to say this wide receiver deserves to be in. I can't be like, hey, it's Hall of Famer Richard Sherman, Hall of Famer Brandon Marshall, and then you're like, hey, here's this dude with 36 career touchdowns. Let's throw him in as well because I think he's funny. Like, stop it. It's bad. It's bad for the show. It's bad for our integrity. It's bad for all.
It's been established. It has been established. All right, let's move on to Kansas City now, where the Chiefs getting set to host the Patriots. New England coming in as 6.5-point underdogs. The last time Bill Belichick's team was counted out by that many, all the way back in 2016. So, Brandon, the team that should be on upset alert in Week 4 is blank.
Yeah, it's the Lions upsetting the Saints. And Nick, I'm new to this whole betting against the spread thing and just the whole gambling where I don't gamble. But I'm new to this. And a lot of people look at it and they're like, well, they're only giving 4 or 4.5 points. So correct me if I'm wrong here. So why is this an upset? And I think it's less about the spread and more about the outcry that will happen if this team loses this game. And they can lose this game. So this is the upset alert for me.
Yeah, by the way, if anyone's an underdog of more than 2.5, that's considered a legitimate upset if they win. So this absolutely qualifies.
Okay,
and I shouldn't have questioned your upset pick last week because you picked the Panthers, I think, and they were like 6-point underdogs. So you're on a nice little hot streak on this. I'm going to go with the 49ers, who are big touchdown favorites over the Eagles. Like, listen, I don't think the Eagles are very good. But I also don't think the Niners, with Nick Mullins at quarterback, with no Joey Bosa or Nicky Bosa, and with no Solomon Thomas, and with the wide receivers banged up, should be a touchdown favorites over a desperate, have-to-have-the-win Eagles team. So I think the Eagles can win this game as touchdown underdogs outright. Wilds.
You know who I like, Brandon? The beard fits magic over Russell Wilson. I don't know how long Russell Wilson's going to be able to throw 5 touchdowns every game just to keep them competitive so they can win at the last play of the game. They've got a 1 o'clock game going all the way to Miami. I think Fitzmagic gets it done, and Seattle's defense is
How are you
so
not picking
terrible.
the Patriots?
What's unbelievable? It's your
How
guy.
are you not picking the Patriots?
Yeah.
How are you not picking the Patriots?
I don't consider that an upset.
They're touchdown
I
underdogs.
don't consider that an upset.
He doesn't consider that.
I don't consider that an upset.
All right, we gotta move on. Nick, you set this all up for us. Philadelphia, where Carson Wentz and those winless Eagles starving for a victory. They're in San Fran taking on an injury-riddled Niners team on Sunday Night Football. But Brandon, the team that most needs a win in Week 4 is blank.
Yeah, I mean, every team that's defeated needs a win right now. I can't imagine being in a locker room right now losing this way. But I got to go with the Texans. If they go 0-4, this is really bad. I don't think any of us expected this to be a rebuilding year for the Texans. They've competed every single year for, the last 4 or 5 years. So this is bad for them. They need a win right now.
All right, and we pulled the curtain back on the show a little bit. I wrote down Texans as well initially, but then I saw my good friend Brandon Marshall had that, and he goes first. So my second, that's the right answer. The second best answer is the Saints. And the team that you think could be upset this week. If the Saints lose again, and they lose to the fighting Matt Patricias, sound the alarms in the Superdome, America. So the Texans fall to 0-4 would be a level 10 disaster. The Saints fall into 1-3, and losing to the Lions would be like a level 8 disaster. So I'll go with the Saints, Wiles.
Nick, I'll take the Saints, and you can take the Texans.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're good. we don't need to
show.
It's fine.
Yeah. Nick, I'm going with the Bears here. I know the Bears are 3-0, but what happens if Nick Foles just becomes regular old Nick Foles, human being made of flesh and blood, and not the statue Nick Foles that everyone thinks they're going to get?
Yeah, not a backup anymore.
If they go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And does anyone have been paying attention to how good the Colts defense is? The Colts have given up a total of 676 yards. The Seahawks give that up per game. The Colts have given up in total. Brandon, I know you love the Steelers, and we've been singing Mike Tomlin's praises. The Steelers are at 870. So the Colts are really, really good. We got to start paying attention. If Nick Foles struggles, I don't know what you're supposed to do as a Bears fan. You're going to start rooting for Mitch Trubisky again? So I think Nick Foles needs to come out here with a big game and a win.
All right, moving on. Baker and the Browns. Baker, who makes really wonderful commercials, and his beard is coming in nicely. I said 2 nice things about him. Baker, Mayfield, and the Browns headed down to Dallas for what many are expecting to be a shootout with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. That is Sunday at 1 on Fox. So, Brandon, the player with the most to prove in Week 4 is blank.
I see what you did there, Jenna, but you didn't say anything nice about football, Baker. Okay?
Right.
All right, anyway. So Drew
Specific on your request.
You gotta say something nice about his football game, okay?
Right,
So
we'll see
anyways,
after
Drew
lunch.
Brees.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, listen, Drew Brees, if they lose this game and he doesn't play well, I mean, Coach Payton is this Mr. Fixer guy. He has the shiny little toy in Jameis Winston sitting there on the sideline. You got to think that if this thing doesn't get back on track, he's going to be like, you know what? I know he threw 100 picks last year, but I can fix him. He can come in here and turn our season around. Drew Brees got to get it done this week.
Oh, I love the idea of LASIK Jameis coming on and being a great quarterback. This might be a little unfair because he's so young, but I'm going to go Kyler. Kyler came into this year with like some low-key MVP buzz. He has 5 interceptions to 4 passing touchdowns and just played a brutal game against the Lions that they lost in large part because of his mistakes. I'm not selling Kyler stock. All I'm saying is this week he needs to bounce back if they're going to stay competitive while in far and away the best division in the NFL.
So I'm going to go with our researcher, Dusty, because Nick and I now have a bet that when the Patriots beat the Chiefs, Nick will wear a Cam Newton for the football segment, a Cam Newton jersey for the football segment. Well, what about the basketball segment? So, Dusty, I'm going to ask you to write a few paragraphs, even though it's Sunday. And, Nick, if you want to up the bet, since you're so confident, I'm going to bring this bad boy over to your house. And when we're talking about LeBron, throw this on, see how confident you are.
Yes.
And because you like Cam. And you can do an NBA final segment wearing a Jordan jersey, and Dusty you can either freestyle it, or Dusty, our esteemed researcher, can write you a script. Will you accept that?
Okay, that's fine, but if you're... Yeah, absolutely, but then it's no longer a free roll for you. You're back to the shave your head portion of it. I'll wear that jersey all week, but your risk is the shave your head. Okay, well then you're a coward.
Yes.
No, I'm not giving you a double free roll. The Cam Newton bet's a free roll. I'm not doing a double free roll. It's ridiculous.
Gamble. I got a question for you. You think Cam Newton Cam Newton can lead Kansas City with a big upset win on Sunday. We will discuss next.
Yes.
First things first, stay with us.
I thought you said it wasn't an upset.